We've seen movies about billionaires, athletes, criminals, politicians, but never about a YouTuber.
Do you by any chance sell any drugs here?
Well, meet Lucas and Curtis. These brothers have been making movie trailers for YouTubers and surprising them for the past year, and they have recently seen a great amount of success on YouTube. They have been doing all of this with the end goal of making an entire freaking movie for MrBeast. This is the story of Lucas and Curtis. On March 3rd, 2015, Lucas and Curtis released their first video on a YouTube channel called Parable. It was a short film called Paper Airplane. You see, Lucas and Curtis were always into making short films, so when they realized that they were able to share their short films to the world on YouTube, there was no question about it. And when they ended up posting their second short film, Paperboy, it absolutely exploded, getting over 1 million views. This is when they realized that they wanted to pursue YouTube. They started cranking out high-quality short films, trying to recreate the success that they had with Paperboy. But they would spend months perfecting a short film for it to not even come close to the success of Paperboy. And they also needed to make a living so that they could continue pursuing YouTube. But that seemed to be taking a lot of time away from making films. But they kept posting. They even switched it up a bit by posting reaction and commentary-style content from time to time. But it eventually became too much. The videos were performing worse and worse, and it seemed like the dream of YouTube was dead. April of 2020 rolls around and the world goes on lockdown. And with nothing to do, Lucas and Curtis only had one thing to do: get creative. So Lucas and Curtis got together and booted up a new channel called Sticks, and they began brainstorming film ideas. This time, they didn't only want to make a short film that they thought was cool. They wanted to make content that would go viral. They wanted to make something that they were happy to create, but also something that people were excited to watch. They continued brainstorming ideas, then they came across this thing called social hacking. It's essentially when you make a video about a trendy person or topic, and in turn your video will ride that trend and get more views. They started trying to come up with video ideas that were hooked to these famous ideas, such as YouTuber's worst prank, or Thieves' heist goes terribly wrong. And although these videos were performing slightly better than the others, they still weren't getting as many views as they wanted. They kept brainstorming, and then it hit them. What if they were to make a short film about the greatest YouTuber in the world, MrBeast? This had to be the sort of idea that they were looking for. They went to some friends to get some feedback about the idea, and they eventually realized that it would be stupid to create only a short film about the greatest YouTuber to ever walk the planet. They had to make a full-length movie. And not only that, but they also wanted to collab with MrBeast on the project. This was crazy because not only was MrBeast one of the hardest people in the world to get in contact with, they had also never created a full-length movie before. And although the odds were against them, they knew that the idea was way too good to pass up on. They needed some way to get MrBeast's attention. And the idea that they came up with was pure genius. They were going to start creating movie trailers for famous YouTubers and surprising them. But not just that, but they were also going to create full-length videos going through the process of them surprising these YouTubers. And along with the movie trailers, they were going to post these on Sticks. And hopefully one of the YouTubers that they surprised would put in a good word for them with MrBeast. Or one of the videos would blow up enough and MrBeast would see it. This was a crazy idea, but they knew that everything would change if they were actually able to pull this off. The first YouTuber that they wanted to surprise was none other than Eric. Not only because he was good friends with MrBeast, but also because his backstory is one of the best on YouTube.
I cannot emotionally go through another year without doing this thing that I want to be doing.
They immediately began production of the movie trailer with Curtis playing the part of Eric, and it was going pretty smoothly. The part that they really needed to worry about was actually surprising Eric with the movie trailer. But no need to worry because Eric was throwing the world's largest pizza party in celebration of hitting 10 million subscribers within the next 5 days. So if they wanted to actually surprise Eric, that would be the place to do it. But there was a few problems. You see, not only did Lucas and Curtis live on the other side of the planet, but the movie trailer wasn't even completed yet. So if they wanted this to actually happen, they needed to get to grinding. They ended up finishing the trailer in only one day, so they posted it on their channel and shared it with everyone on Airac's team. The idea was for someone to see the video and like it so much that they would be willing to surprise Airac with it on the big screen at his pizza party. Then after 2 days of waiting, someone from Airac's team finally saw the video, and their reaction was priceless.
Holy yo, let me send that to the guys. I'm curious what their thoughts are. Bro, if someone made a movie like that about my life, I think my head would explode.
This was the only confirmation that they needed to book their flights to America. They didn't even know if Airac was gonna see it, but they were too close to give up now. They drove to the airport in disbelief that they were actually going to try and pull this off. But then they got to the airport and had to wait to receive authorization so that they could actually enter into the US. This was bad because authorization normally took up to 70 hours to complete, and their plane left in only 1 hour. But there was still a small chance that they would be able to receive authorization within the next hour. So they kept frantically reloading the pages on their phone until Lucas got authorization.
It's approved. I just got it approved. Okay, check yours. This is a miracle.
They immediately rushed through security and ran to the gate on the complete opposite end of the airport. It seemed like it was the furthest gate in the entire airport, but they kept going.
It's going.
We just sprinted with so much bags. We paid like $3,000 just for nothing.
They both went home that night heartbroken, feeling like failures. All of that work for nothing. But then they received a notification on YouTube that would change everything. It was a comment from Airac. Bro, what? This meant that all the work that they had put in wasn't for nothing, because not only did Airac see it, but there was also a very good chance that Airac sent it to MrBeast. They now had enough content to make a video showing the process of them creating the movie trailer for Airac. They ended up taking a couple of months to finish the video and post it, but right after, they immediately began working on surprising their next YouTuber. The next YouTuber that Lucas and Curtis wanted to surprise was their favorite YouTuber, none other than Ryan Trahan. They had watched Ryan's videos for years and had taken a lot of inspiration from him. And this time they didn't just want a comment from him, they wanted to take it all the way and actually get to see his reaction, whether it be in video or in person. The first thing that they did was look for Ryan Trahan's doppelganger to play him in the movie trailer.
We're searching for Ryan Trahan.
We've been looking for him for 3 weeks and he's nowhere to be found.
Why are we searching for him? Is he missing?
No.
You see, we want to turn his life into a movie and surprise him with it, just like we did
Airac.
So we aren't searching for the real Ryan Trahan, we're searching for his clone.
A doppelganger.
The perfect person to play him in a movie.
They finally found someone named Jake that was perfect to fit the role of Ryan. But he lived all the way in America, which would normally be a problem, but seeing as Ryan Trahan also lived in the US, it just seemed like the only logical thing to do was to fly to Austin, Texas, where Ryan lived. Because not only did Ryan Trahan live in Texas, but that's also where the Creator Now headquarters was located. Now, if you don't know what Creator Now is, it's the largest community of creators in the world, founded by none other than Airac and his manager Zach. In this community, creators hold workshops to teach and share what they've learned about YouTube. And guess who was one of the people that held a workshop on Creator Now? None other than Ryan Trahan. So if there was any place that they could go to get connected with Ryan, it was there. When they went in, they met a bunch of people from the Creator Now team, including Airac's manager Zach. This was good because if anyone had a connection to Ryan, it was him. They asked Zach if they could get in contact with Ryan, and he told them to make a short video pitching the movie trailer to him, and Zach would send the video to Ryan. Lucas and Curtis agreed, then they went to make the video.
Ryan, we're filmmaker brothers from Australia. We flew halfway across the world to show you something.
We're turning your life into a movie.
Freaking movie.
We want to give you your own exclusive premiere.
Let us know what day works for you. We're going to hire out a cinema.
There'll be fun drinks.
Yep, Chipotle, be there.
Lucas knew that they needed a way to get closer to MrBeast if they were going to actually meet Ryan. So he came up with the proposition. They were going to ask Ryan Trahan if he would be willing to set up a meeting with MrBeast. And if he agreed, they were going to put his name inside the credits of the MrBeast movie. And it would only work if they were to both shake Ryan's hand simultaneously. It was a long shot, but it was one step closer to making their dream come to a reality. But first, they needed to create the movie trailer. So they met up with Ryan's doppelganger and began creating. During the creation process, they received a call from the Creator Now team informing them that Ryan saw their video pitch and he liked it. Not only that, but they were going to place them inside of a group chat with Ryan Trahan.
Thank you so much. This is crazy.
Of course. Okay. Bye.
All right, bye. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay. Someone from Creator Now just said that they are going to put us in a group message with Ryan Trahan. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
This could be this is it.
Yes! Guys, we're throwing a premiere for Ryan Trahan, and we haven't even made his movie yet. Ryan Trahan just messaged us. Hey guys, such a pleasure to hear from you. I'm currently out of town, but I'll be home tomorrow night. If possible, call me on Friday would be great for me. Is that alright?
What a nice guy.
He's so nice.
Then just a few days later, they received a call that changed their life.
Ryan the Trahan.
Lucas and Curtis,
nice to
man,
meet
it's so
you,
nice
bro.
to meet you guys.
So cool to talk to you. Thanks for like calling us, like being willing to do this. Really
course.
pumped. Look, we have your doppelganger right here.
How's it going?
Hey, brother.
Show him a sneak peek. Show him a
Can't
sneak
wait
peek.
to see what y'all are making. Oh my god. Y'all are so fun, man.
During this call, they locked in a date for the premiere of the movie trailer, and it was in 4 days, which was bad because the movie trailer wasn't even completed yet, and it was almost impossible to secure a movie theater within that short of a time period. So they began grinding and editing the trailer every waking hour. At this point, every single second that was not spent editing was completely useless. But they ended up finishing the edit with only 1 day left to secure a theater. But it was quite easy to secure one actually because the theater owner's kid was a big fan of Ryan Trahan. Now the only thing to do was to prepare the theater for Ryan's arrival. The next day arrived and they set out a red carpet with some other stuff and waited for Ryan. All this time and energy put into this one moment that could change their lives forever. Ryan pulled up and he was flabbergasted by all the work that they had put into this.
How's it going?
How's it going?
I'll put this mic on.
That's Ryan.
He's here. This is so fun. I see my face, kind of. This is so crazy. They even used Arial font on the signs.
They laid out a red carpet, put out movie posters, and they even paid attention to detail so much that they used Ryan Trahan's favorite font on the posters. Lucas, Curtis, and Ryan went into the movie theater to watch the premiere, and it was so good that Ryan almost cried. The amount of research that Lucas and Curtis had put into this movie trailer to make it as memorable as possible was all worth it now. Ryan wanted to watch it a few more times, but after that, it was finally time for the proposition. It was time to see if this could actually be done, or if collaborating with MrBeast was just some silly pipe dream. So they asked the question, do you think you would be willing to get us a meeting with MrBeast?
Okay. Let's do it.
This was it. They didn't even know if Ryan was capable of doing this, but they knew with his help that they would at least get on MrBeast's radar. And at this point, that's all that really mattered. After that, they began editing the We Surprised Ryan Trahan with his own movie trailer video. They put a ton of time into the editing, making sure that every second was perfect. Not only because they were trying to make a good impression on MrBeast, but also because they kinda needed funding to create their next movie trailer. So they put their heart and soul into this editing, and when it was finished, the final video was a whopping 27 minutes long. This was longer than the Eric video and a lot longer than really every other video they had posted on this channel. So they didn't really know how it was going to perform, but they knew that it was the best video that they had ever created, and if any of their videos were going to go viral, it would be this one. So they posted the video, and right off the bat it was performing way better than all the other videos, getting 100,000 views within the first few hours. They knew that they were doing good, they just didn't know how good. They decided to go to bed, then when they woke up, they could have never imagined what happened. The video was sitting at 500,000 views. This was insane. For over 8 years, they have been striving for this goal, and it was actually happening this time. But when they thought it couldn't get any better, Ryan Trahan posted the video on his community tab. Words could not describe how they felt at this moment. The video went on to get 3 million views. But not just that, but they also got a brand deal from Shopify to fund their next movie trailer. The next YouTuber that Lucas and Curtis wanted to surprise was none other than the rocket scientist of YouTube, Mark Rober. And there were a few very big reasons for this. One of the biggest reasons was because Mark Rober was a very good longtime friend with MrBeast, but also because Mark Rober was their boss. Yeah, I was also surprised when I heard this. Apparently, Lucas and Curtis applied for a position on Mark Rober's team to help him with his short-form content. And on the same exact day that they got placed into a group chat with Ryan Trahan, they also got sent an email telling them that they got the job. This meant that it was going to be 10 times easier to surprise Mark Rober with his movie trailer because they already had contact with him. But not just that, they also had his trust. Enough trust to ask about the proposition. With this proposition, they were going to take it an extra step and ask Mark Rober to literally get his phone out and call MrBeast right there and ask him how many subscribers they need to be able to collab with him on the movie. Although this was a long shot, it was still worth a try because Mark did have MrBeast's phone number. So they got in touch with Mark Rober's assistant and locked in a time to surprise Mark. And she said that she would make up a fake cover story so that Mark didn't know what was going on. And now, with the premiere date locked away, it was now time to hire on someone to play the part of Mark Rober. They decided to hire someone that went by the name of Julian. He was the dude that got second place in the Air dating video, but now he's a pretty successful YouTuber. Lucas and Curtis picked him up from the airport, then began the official production process of the Mark Rober movie trailer. During the filming process, someone on Mark Rober's team gave them access to Crunch Labs, and also to Mark Rober's backyard, which was kind of ironic because a few days later after they were done filming, Mark found out that Lucas and Curtis were in town and he decided to give them a tour of Crunch Labs. Anyways, they completed the movie trailer pretty easily because they weren't on a super huge time crunch like the other movie trailers. Then they secured a theater to premiere the movie trailer. The day rolled around that they were supposed to surprise Mark Rober, so they went to the theater to set up and waited for Mark's arrival. When he arrived, he was definitely surprised. He had no idea that they were planning this. They actually outsmarted a literal rocket scientist. Lucas, Curtis, and Mark went to watch the movie trailer, and Mark really liked it. They watched it a few more times, then it was finally time to ask about the proposition. This was finally time to see if all the work that they had put in within the last 7 months was actually going to get them to this once thought unreachable goal.
We'll put your name in the credits of the MrBeast movie. If
you pull out your phone right now and call MrBeast.
Wow! And Mark said no. He explained that he was going to meet up with MrBeast within a few days, and he will ask him how many subscribers that they need to collab with him on the project. So Lucas and Curtis agreed, then a few weeks later, Mark called them. And it was shocking. He said that MrBeast was willing to collab with Lucas and Curtis under one condition. They needed to hit 5 million subscribers in order to do so. And this is kind of where the story of Lucas and Curtis is up to this point. So what does the future of Lucas and Curtis look like? Well, the Mark Rober video performed similarly to the Ryan Trahan video, except for the fact that it pushed them from 100,000 subscribers all the way to 400,000 subscribers. So maybe getting to 5 million won't be that hard after all. I think the next YouTuber that they're going to surprise is Zach King, but I'm not 100% sure. We don't really know how long it'll be before the MrBeast movie comes out, but it's going to be one of the best videos on YouTube. And it might even be up there with The History of the World, I guess, or Alphabet Lore. Who knows? But one thing's for certain. If anyone's going to make a movie about MrBeast, it's going to be these two.